Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the 80-60 rule. I'm Mark and I'm 60
Hello, everyone. I'm Greg. Welcome.
and he's 80.
And I'm
Uh
80.
yeah, it's nice
That's
to
why
see
I'm 80. I forgot that.
you. That's how
I wanted
okay.
to emphasize that.
Right, right. Very good. How you doing? How you doing?
All
How was
right.
your
All right.
you're okay? All
Yeah.
right, good.
I had a happy yesterday with my Phillies. So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll let it go at that. But I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
this is the exciting time. There's a lot of different things going on all over the place, not just in sports, but all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on in the world?
Let's talk about some issues that have been concerning me. Okay.
Sure.
The first issue I read in the paper, obviously, lawmakers fearing the worst and intimidation tactics grow. This is a democracy, gang, and we our country is governed by laws, principles, constitution, and I don't know, maybe whatever side of the aisle you're on, you're this or that. I understand that. There's a lot of we have different views, but there should be no place for intimidation, making legislators have 24-hour security detail, um, having bricks thrown in people, legislators' windows. Uh, that's not there. Having people being afraid to work to go down to work.
Right.
It's just wrong. It's just
Yeah.
wrong. Not only wrong. That's not us. That's not the America that I know.
Right. It goes against what the what the country is based on, what our history is. It goes against that intimidation. Yeah. You
I
know.
remember. I remember when I wasn't surprised at all, but I was not surprised, but like so proud that when we had the Watergate problems years ago, and there was a transfer of without any no coup or no in the streets and all that, one person resigned, another person took over.
Right.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was great. That's doesn't happen in a lot in other.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, bullying is creeping into our politics, or politics is forcing bullying into our life, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I've never been a yard sign guy. I've never been like, I'm voting for this person. I want all my neighbors to know, I've never been that, that type of put up a yard sign type of thing. But when I drive around, this time of year and you see all the yard signs, I think like, okay, that's good that people are doing that. And gee, I hope they're not nervous that somebody's going to vandalize their house because they disagree with the yard sign you have up in your yard. Do you know what
Well,
I
I'm
mean?
sure they would be. I'm sure they are.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, that's a
So,
shame.
you
So
if I put a sign up here and the people say, "Oh, is that what he's done? Is that who he's from, or is that who she's from? Who he's for?"
yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah, and it adds attention to it.
Yeah, and on the other hand, like, no, I'm proud of my vote. I could, but I've just never been that. But I just wonder if it's creeping into like we can't even do that anymore, because people are going to target you then, in your neighborhood. Anyway,
Well, and for example, it's interesting. I voted for someone that um,
whoa, no, I'm
well, I
just
can't.
kidding.
No, no.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. You got me there. You got me
Yeah,
there. I voted for someone because I know that person.
yeah.
I know the family. And yet people said to me, well, you can tell her or him that you voted, but you don't really have to.
Oh,
And to me, it's like, I'm not going to say I'm going to vote for you.
right,
And just to make you feel that, then I have no intention of doing that.
right. Yeah,
I
right.
can't do that.
You wouldn't have said anything in the first place if you weren't gonna vote for him. Yeah, I couldn't do that either. uh so oh, yeah, sure, I'll vote for you, and then
Yeah, yeah. So
whatever,
it's
especially if you know him.
It's
Yeah.
just, you know, I think about all this because I think about my parents being an immigrant. I was an immigrant, and I think what they have suffered in Europe and the other countries that my neighbors are from. And you see what's going on, you're like, what is this? What is going on here? Like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
going on? Um, I don't want to get into everything, but it just amazes me.
Yeah.
Really amazes me. How,
Yeah.
how I'm going to talk about it in a couple of minutes, but how somebody like the guy from Sandy Hook could say that all that was made up when you saw it.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you
There's a lot of
saw
that
it.
going on now. There's a lot of that going on. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe, what you just saw, what you just witnessed, yeah, there's a hidden meaning, there's a conspiracy to everything, as
Uh,
opposed to just looking and watching and making a decision from what you just saw. Yeah,
yeah,
that's crazy. Well, he's being held accountable for that.
yeah, but it's just like I remember getting to the Kennedy assassination, and some people quarrel who was that? Was it Ruby? Was it and all that? And what was his name? Oswald, right?
Yeah,
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 Oswald. You can't tell me all these years, everybody that maybe had a plot in it, something it hasn't come out yet. I mean, it's
yeah.
when an investigative reporter wants to get the full surprise,
Right.
try and discover it and say that was the person, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's been enough. It's probably the most
Exposés.
yeah, yeah. It's probably the most documented, over and over again event, aside from maybe, religious things that have taken place, but in the world where it's been analyzed, this way and upside down and sideways and everything. The If it was a conspiracy, like you said, nobody's going to keep all that secret for all that long.
Oh, I would have been out there trying to stay. It's with all that, but not the fun. I don't say the fun. That's not the right word. Maybe it's the I don't know. Whatever. I'm just going to who Deep Throat was. I always would. I always remember who was Deep Throat. When are we
Right,
going to find out who was Deep Throat? And
right,
when we found out, we said, okay, done.
right,
Now
right.
we know who it was.
Yeah. And I loved going
Mark
back to
Felt.
that.
Mark Felt, right?
Mark Phelps. Yeah, very good. I love going back to that after, because it was, how long was it? Was it 40 years?
I don't remember that.
I mean, it was probably like maybe 35, 40 years that we didn't know who Deep Throat was.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So when it first came out, it was interesting to go back and then piece. Okay, he would have been meeting with, who was it, Woodward or the other guy?
Bernstein.
Right, he would have been meeting with Bernstein. Um, at this time on this day. Okay, I love how they pieced it back together. Which, by the way, is one of my all-time favorite movies, All the President's Men.
Yeah.
It's that's it's really I forced my daughter to watch it a couple years ago. She was probably about uh 27, 28 at the time. She had never seen it.
He's
And with
still around that age, right?
yeah, she's
Yeah.
still around that age. But anyway, I forced her to watch it just for the historical um um subject matter, not quite fully understanding at the time that it's really relevant to what's going on in our politics today. But anyway, I thought
Let me just say this to try and wrap this up before we give out. I wish there would be more tolerance from all of us.
right.
Uh, see some things on TV, like everybody's trying to. Sometimes, like, I don't want to mention personalities, but they're trying to score points
Yeah,
um, on either side. And it's like,
yeah,
first of all, who are you to all the time to say that stuff?
yeah.
Like,
My wife has a pretty good attitude about like when you start becoming a little bit too passionate, or not, a little bit too one-sided in your thinking, where she kind of goes like, okay, how does this really affect me? When I'm getting all excited about that little case over there, that I'm going to be you have such a hard opinion about? How does it really
Yeah,
affect me that I have
yeah,
to get
yeah.
this upset about it? And she says it in the context of not falling for any ideology, no matter what it is. So
Yeah. That's something that really got my ire. I get like that, and I don't talk like that.
that was a good ire. That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Could you spell it? How do you spell ire?
IRE.
I think so.
All right. Um, New York University. A good article in the paper on NYU chemistry class. 350 people in the class. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm wrong. 350 people petition out of 350 people. 82 signed petitions that medical school that class was too difficult for them.
Oh,
And
really?
as a result, this chemistry professor was fired.
Really?
Yeah. He was tenured at Princeton, I believe, or Yale, Princeton, I think. And then he went to NYU, he was adjunct, and he
Yeah.
fired him. He said like he was kind of abrasive and all that. But what is like this, the students couldn't want to go into medical school. It's too difficult. Um, Parents were saying, my kid's not going to go to medical school. They put pressure.
Wow.
You wonder what's becoming. Um, I always think like the the prisoner should not run the prison. you know.
Right.
Uh,
Inmates don't run the asylum. Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how
You know what I'd like to be? I'd like to be of that class that you said. What did you say? Like 80 people? 80 people signed the petition. 80 out of
let me just
three,
see. Let me read.
82 out
Um,
of 350.
by last spring at the campus, 82 of his 350 students signed the petition. Yes.
Okay. I'd like to be the dumbest guy in that class. So out of 350, I'm 350th. I'm the dumbest guy in that medical class or whatever the class is. And they came around with a petition going, is this too hard? I'd like to be the guy who went like, oh yeah, let me add my name to it.
Yeah.
Just knowing that I'm going to be able to ride the smart people's coattails through this revolution of getting this professor fired. So maybe I have a fighting chance the second time. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
good.
that
Tell
was
me, because
good.
I have no idea what I just said.
I
Uh,
know. I'm just trying to make you feel good.
meaning like,
Yeah.
you know, it was more hard for some of the others than it was for some of them. But
Yeah.
anyway,
And
okay.
it's I see where some professors can be abrasive and all that, or you're afraid to talk to them and all that. But if they know their stuff and you can take it, you're going to learn there.
That puts a lot of pressure on the following teacher to not be too easy.
Yeah.
That's a weird little precedent. Maybe they waited till the class was over, right? Meaning the semester, and that's probably what they
But
did, I
some of them
guess.
said that some of the classes were filled, so they had to go to him. And
Oh,
but it shouldn't be where you're afraid to flunk a student
right,
with the repercussions. It's
right.
big. This school. It's big money to go to college. You know that, right?
Absolutely,
Big
absolutely.
tuition, big tuition, and
Yeah,
parents were paying $50,000, $60,000 a year.
yeah. I'm sure just knowing that obviously these are intelligent students. I'm sure the students were of this mindset. This has never been hard for me. Whatever we're studying right now, it's never been hard for me. I've always come in with these types of grades. Now all of a sudden in this class, I'm getting these types of grades. Okay, one person, two people, but if when they started talking, they went, let's band together and have some power, strength in numbers. It probably wasn't just like, oh, this is hard. It was more like, why is this hard for all of us when we've up until now in our career we've been able to breeze through
Yeah.
this. So there might be some substantiveness
I
to
remember
their
where you in your time. They have sometimes they went in my high school or high school. I mean, the curve.
yeah,
Do they have a
yeah.
curve? Huh?
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, you know, I don't know. All I'm saying is it's probably a combination of maybe the kids, are whiny little spoiled kids who just want to get a good grade, and then or the professor is a power hungry megala guy who's going to just be a tyrant when it comes to grading. It's probably a combination of these. I don't know.
Yeah,
um
yeah,
you
yeah.
know
It's just I don't want it to send a message to other
right.
professors that you gotta.
And also I'd like my doctor to be able to, the guy who's operating me, I hope he passed a difficult exam in order to get his certificate, right? you
Yeah,
know I
yeah,
hope he
yeah,
I hope he wasn't the next class after that teacher that got fired, who they just let
yeah.
everybody pass.
I heard a comment. I don't know if this was. I don't know, it's not true, but it said the joke that I told that the A students that graduate from law school work for the judges. The B students that graduate from law school work for the corporation, and the C students that graduate from law school represent the A and B students in court.
Yeah, that's good.
No,
Yeah.
see, quite honestly, saying that you were A A student all the way, does the person have street smart? Does the person can relate? It's all about relationships,
Yeah, it's all
right?
about, are they able to just relate? Although that's becoming less and less necessary, um,
Because
to
you're at
relate to
home.
people.
Because you're home.
Yeah, you're home.
Yeah,
Even texting, things like that, as opposed to, although, I guess there's, other ways, but yeah, how many people of those people that you're talking about would know how to hail a cab if their Uber app was not working? You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know, just basic survival in life.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just things. I found like I know of a bank and they're now doing just some banks are doing you can't see them. It's like uh, uh, video banking.
Virtual,
Yeah, virtual.
like
I'm
us. Like
complete.
I'm the customer and you're the teller, like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm completely lost. Well, I'm I got to stick with some things that I know. All right. How
All right.
about this? This was in Thailand. It reminded me of Sandy Hook, a massacre of 36 people, 24 kids. Well, it was a former police officer who did it, and he committed suicide. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Oh, that's who did it.
Yeah, it's just interesting. So I guess I want to say it's not just the United States. It happens everywhere. Different things like that are massive.
Yeah.
Whether it's Canada, India,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Mental illness is not unique to the United States. I guess my thing to you would be, um, why does it happen? Like when you say it's not just the United States, but why does it happen here more?
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Uh, I understand, but
Meaning people can go off the deep end, but why do they go off the deep end more? Do they go off the deep end more here? I don't think so. I think we go off the deep end equally all around the world in our own way, but guns are more accessible here. That's kind of what I'm
uh,
getting at, you know.
and
But
it's interesting. I just read an article about a guy 45 years old, a lawyer who his his fame is getting prisoners who make them sure that they're not guilty when they were
wrongly,
in
yeah,
jail. They're
wrongly
wrongly
convicted. Yeah.
wrongly convicted. 45 years old, great life, by committed this. Yeah, depression. He committed suicide. It was just I just read it. That gets me.
Who did?
This attorney.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I thought you said he was 75 years old,
No,
45 years old.
45.
Wow.
You never know. You never know.
No, you don't. You don't.
Uh,
Yeah.
never know who's. So you just gotta be happy that every day's a good day.
Right. And also try to make a difference in other people's lives who might not be having a good day, you know.
Yeah. Let's and let me go back to this InfoWars person. Uh, Told you about Thailand. Now let me go back to this InfoWars. Alex Jones. The jury, the jurors are going to decide how much he must they must pay. He must pay for the Sandy Hook family. How much he must pay. And some examples here to give you some, if I may. Um, uh, one person urinated in a kid's grave when a kid who died from Sandy Hook. I'll read it to you. Um, the kid who dies from Sandy Hook, one person went and here it is. Received from people who said they had urinated on Daniel's grave when they digged up his body, things like
Right.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Things
so
like
I'm sorry, you're giving examples of why they found him guilty, why he was convicted.
why things that they did
Right.
to to hassle these parents.
These poor, yeah. So I thought you were giving examples of what the sentence might be, meaning
No,
the
no, 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 no,
monetary amount. I thought that's what you were.
no, no, no.
Okay.
Giving examples.
Yeah, of
Another one.
some of the
Uh,
disgust. Yeah,
threats of rape. Sister of one. Um, uh,
yeah.
Doors. She scans her parking lot for threats and checks in the back seat of her car. She gives to her car.
What'd she do?
Giving to her toddler that she was making. Yeah, yeah, because they're afraid.
Yeah,
Because these people of that persuasion been doing these kind of things.
yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean,
Unbelievable.
I mean, I mean, I mean, you can have the wildest crazy things, but when people see it, you're seeing it.
Yeah,
And you say that's not true. I mean,
right, right.
I don't know how people can believe that. You know,
It's
what's in a person's mind to believe that? I don't understand that, Mark.
yeah. I don't know
I
either.
don't
It's
understand it.
I mean, you know, the line used to be there's a sucker born every minute, but there are weak people born every 30 seconds who fall for just and it's really the people who take advantage of it, because that InfoWars guy was making a lot of money off of people falling for his shtick. And I equate it with those TV evangelists from like the 80s who would just build these empires
Oh yeah,
of people just sending in money, to be healed, and
yeah.
mostly preying on the elderly.
Who was it?
And
James Jones, no, Jim
uh,
Jones.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
that was more like
oh
really psychotic,
yeah,
like almost like trance like adulation. But no, I was thinking like the Jim Bakers. Remember
yeah.
Jim and Tammy
Tammy
Baker?
Faye. Yeah,
Yeah, where they just you were asking about how people fall for it. Think of all the people who fell for that act that they were throwing. You know,
yeah,
just let them build an empire, of nothing with money. So that's very depressing when you talk about people who fall for this stuff. Ugh,
yeah.
yeah. All right.
I just say that's just saying. I wanted to admit. Let me give you some things. This is interesting. Part of my interest in things, different interests. Emancipation is a film we talked about 3 weeks ago. It stars Will Smith. Will Smith as Peter, a real life figure from the 1800s
Yeah.
who escaped slavery, and he fought in the army. Whether I wonder if he'll be getting be nominated for an Academy Award. They say he should. Excellent. I wonder if he'll be nominated, and it's interesting if they would vote, people would vote for him. It's interesting,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know. Um,
People have short memories. People don't necessarily hold grudges when with celebrities. Celebrities are always bouncing back from things. So I guess it kind of depends on how memorable the role is and how impressive the movie is. So that'll kind of I think that will supersede any grudge that somebody might have about his punching Chris Rock. Meaning, like if it's the art really plays out, people will use that as like, wow, that was really impressive. I'm gonna forget about this over here.
okay, interesting. Uh,
My prediction.
oh no, it's interesting. Uh, Another one here. I thought this was interesting.
But wait, you said in the past though that movie is getting like rave reviews or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. That's what they're saying now.
Okay.
Another one here. I was happy about this. The number of the number of dating apps in China with over 1,000 downloads soared to 275 this year from 81 2017. To me, that's more social connections. That's more people getting to know each other, right?
Right.
Right?
You talk about in China, that many. Wow.
China, yeah.
When you the dating apps that you're on in China, do you use your real name or you do like a
I don't
pseudonym?
know. I don't know. Maybe
You
they use Mark. I don't know.
no, okay. All right.
No,
Very
I don't know.
funny.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay. No, I'm talking about you. The ones that you're on, do you use your real name?
Oh, me? I'm not in any now.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
No, it's just interesting. It's not, um, you think of all these meta and all that stuff, and I just think of, I don't do any of that, but it gives people connections. People, it's something like people you haven't heard about 30 years or 50 years. All of a sudden, you can look them up and
Yeah.
he or she's on Facebook or whatever. It's interesting now.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's
Yeah,
very the world like, was this big. Now it's like this big.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, a generation older than me, and myself to a certain degree, always thought of the earth in terms of the maps that we saw in grade school,
yeah,
you know, where here's a continent over here, here's a continent over here.
yeah.
That's how we thought of the earth, us, you and I, and our age group. Kids today don't necessarily think of it in terms of, oh, there's those people over there, there's these people over here, because they're all connected all the time. So even the map of the world psychologically is probably different for young people because of all the connections that they just have around the world. To bring it back to the dating app thing, how people are
Yeah,
getting
it's
together.
just yeah, yeah. Let's how about we talk some sports, huh?
Sure. Yeah, I'm
Can we
ready.
do that?
Yeah.
Then we'll end it. The Bears. I watched the Bears today.
All right.
Bears.
NFL. Okay.
Uh, and boy, you never know about football. They're losing 21-3. I said this is going to be oh my gosh. All of a sudden, you know what happened at the end?
Um. Yeah. Refresh my memory. I was in the car with the radio. What happened?
The guy caught the ball and he was running, and then the Viking guy took the ball away from him. Game over.
Oh man, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, game over. They were trying. It was 29-22.
You mean he punched the ball out?
No, he just took it away from him. He was holding the ball and he just took it away from him. He grabbed it. They
And how
went,
much time was left on the clock?
what, 15, 20 seconds.
Oh my God. I gotta go. I gotta watch the clip then. Okay. All right. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah. Well, you
Wow.
never know how it, but 21-3, the coach made some uh, interesting decisions. But before that, let me, you love baseball, right, Mark?
Yeah. I love
Uh,
baseball.
yeah. We were discussing this yesterday on baseball with the pitchers. I feel if I'm a coach, my manager, and my pitcher's doing good, take him out because you're supposed to have this guy at the fifth inning, then this guy at the seventh inning, then this guy at the ninth inning.
Yeah.
You take him out, you put another guy, then you're. I don't know. I don't get it. And
I don't get it either.
I'm
I
no.
don't get it either. There's like a thing now if getting into this inning and he runs the count and this guy gets a base hit, all of a sudden it doesn't matter. You're up 4-1 or whatever. Manager's up, taking him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Is
crazy.
that analytics? Is that analytics?
Yeah, that's analytics. That's
Yeah.
analytics. But you'd think the manager, well, that's the thing. Now they're probably all afraid to go against the analytics, meaning they might, I know my pitcher. I know he's got another 2 innings left.
They're afraid of that. They're exactly that's what they said yesterday.
And in the back of their mind, they're thinking that everybody's going to, but the analytics said you should have taken him out, even though his heart was telling him, no, leave him in. Wow. So yeah, it's like a reverse whammy or whatever. It's like,
yeah. I'm not getting that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Every fan of every team thinks their relievers stink. Relievers, they burn you once and it's stuck in your mind. So I listen to a lot of different telecasts and broadcasts, and all home teams think their relievers stink. And that's usually what I mean is they have zero confidence in them because it's like a zero-sum game. It's either like I don't even know what that means, zero-sum game, but uh, one day they're the hero, the next day they're the goat.
Yeah, it's been. I tell you, before we end this, we got to say a great congratulations to Albert Pujols
Yeah,
and Yadier Molina.
right.
Um, uh, they made baseball enjoyable for me.
Right.
I haven't enjoyed baseball for some years. Now, one of it could be the way the Phillies played.
Yeah,
The other thing it's kind of boring for me. It's like, what they got? Come on back.
I know. See,
Throw to
I
first
love
base
that part of it.
Throw to first base 5 times. Come on.
They're changing all that. Next year you'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right. He saves the gloves, this and that,
Right. And it was just a foul tip. It was like whatever.
And
Yeah,
then
I
it
know.
bothers me the batting averages horrible, and
Right.
yeah, and it bothers me, and it bothers me people getting hit. I mean, I don't mind if you get hit if it's purposeful. I mean, what I'm
Let
saying
me
is like,
let me say something really quick. My grandson had a baseball game today. He's 10, and he was pitching, and he was doing really good. But he beamed a guy, he hit a kid, right in the butt with his pitch, and he made me really proud because when the kid got to first, before he put his foot back on the rubber, he looked over and he just went, "You okay?" To the kid that he just hit. And I like that. I like that he did that. And I know that going forward, we won't do that. But when they're 10 years old, I like that he did that because it bothered him that he hit the kid.
yeah.
So.
Well, it bothers me. It bothers me when, I mean, I'm from the Bob Gibson days.
Yeah. Remember, I said he's 10. Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. I have a feeling you're going to show up at his next game going, don't talk to the opponent.
I mellowed over that. I really mellowed over that.
All right, good. All
I
right.
used to say, don't talk to the opponent. You can't stop the unions.
Yeah.
I mean, the union, they're getting traded and all that, the French and all that. You can't stop that on first base. How are you going to stop Rizzo talking?
Right.
But but I don't like to see somebody hurt. But you got to send a message. Like, but there's some of these people have no control anymore.
Well, yeah, that's the thing because that's what I mean by the relief pitchers. They're all trying to do that thing where they're barely holding on to the ball and they have no control over that cutter.
Yeah.
The one that they bounce in the dirt. That's a good question for you. This bouncing in the dirt thing that they actually practice to get the hitters to swing. Was that a thing in the 50s? No,
Bouncing it is no, no,
like bouncing it in the dirt on purpose.
no. I never heard of it.
All right, all right, okay. Anyway,
Interesting conversation, Mark.
yes,
Interesting conversation. Just different viewpoints. I like that.
yeah, that's it.
Uh,
We got. You're good.
I think we're good, huh?
All right, yeah. Congrats to Pujols, Yadier Molina, and
Let me just say
the
one thing
Phillies.
about
Have they move on?
I with Pujols. It was sad too. I mean, I wanted the Phillies, but it was sad to see them lose because that's the end of it.
Right.
They just that
Yeah.
was it. They
Yeah.
lost. That game over. You're done.
Yeah.
No,
That's it. Yeah. No
that's it.
more.
No
Yep.
more.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. I really like this. If you're the better seed, why shouldn't you have 3 games at home? Right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
These series that we're watching right now, a year ago, they would have been one game, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this has created some fantastic storylines
Yeah.
too. So all
Well,
right.
thanks
Well,
for the time, Mark.
thanks for your time, Greg. I really appreciate it. Always nice
And
talking to you.
everyone, thank you for listening. We enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Thank
No, you
you.
can include me too. We enjoy it. All
Well,
right.
I don't want to speak for you. You can. Yeah, you're 60. You have your own thoughts.
I have my own opinions. The first 15 minutes, but after that, minutes 17 and 18 were great. No, I
Yeah.
enjoyed everything. So thank you. Subscribe if you can, and talk to you later.
Thank you, Mark. Bye.